We're live! Hello! Welcome to Live Starter Radio. We're here with me. We got production manager Matt Wolf. Nightmare Productions. And we have very interesting Frank Mariners on the couch. Lovely tech lady behind the camera with a super soaker in case anyone messes up. Oh, you missed it.
Apparently I did.
So, I had Frank on this side of me. I had Ryan over here, right? With Ryan. Ryan? No, Ryan. Ryan was next to you. Who else was on the show with us? Oh, no, Tony was there. Tony. And we were getting soaked because we kept, that word kept fucking.
That is a good verse. It's the next just.
Oh.
That which point?
See?
No cussing, I guess.
All right.
Just say sorry. Sorry.
No.
Profusely. You have that don't mess with the face. No shenanigans today. But yes, lots to go over and talk about.
Before we get started, a quick shout outs. Shout out to CageRhinoBrand.com. Okay? All awesome stuff. Get your stuff at CageRhinoBrand.com. Big shout out to Chad San Juan Wrestling. They have an awesome show coming up, the Big Ben, which is going to be amazing. Yeah, place in Township High School. Definitely check it out. Go to SanJuanWrestling.com. I can't even begin to tell you how awesome that show is going to be.
Tickets available at the
Tickets
door.
still available at the door. Definitely get them right away.
Third row, 50% sold out. So get your tickets long in advance.
Quick shout out to Riley Daniels, who recently just got married. Yeah. Congratulations.
Riley Daniels, yes.
Yes, congratulations to both. Congratulations to both you and your lovely wife, Michelle. I actually was there when he proposed. He proposed in the middle of the ring. Yeah. Sweetest, absolute most adorable thing I saw. That's a lot. But also shout out to, once again, my daughter and their marching band and color guard. Flaming Arrows, they're always doing well. And
That's where you were last week. How was that?
Lots of fun. They did such a phenomenal job. They do great every weekend. They do fantastic. Every time they do great. I was at the wedding. I cannot be left alone. Let's just put it this way. I am not allowed to be left alone anymore because that just brings up terrible ideas. Terrible ideas. Ironically, though, I was very well behaved. Terrible. You weren't there with me to cause mayhem and ruckus. Sometimes it's a bit
COVID.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah.
but limited. But I'm very happy for them.
Congratulations. So many different things happening in the wrestling world.
Well, let's kick it right off, Lee. Let's talk about TikTok today. So our second week in a row, LTW with TikTok Live put on 3 banger matches today.
Absolutely fantastic. I was there with him as I'm watching. Folks, the counter wasn't going up a little bit at a time. It was jumping up. 15 people would jump on there. 20 people were jumping on there to see. That just shows you, as much as I don't like social media, that shows you the power of social media. We're getting bigger and bigger every week.
Dude, I can't tell you how grateful we are for you guys tuning in on TikTok Live. I believe we had a little over 109 in the room at a time. It was phenomenal. Shout out to the guys out there performing.
Yep.
On TikTok Live. Awesome matches today. We had Tony Peters get badass,
Which is great.
We had triple threat between Joey Angelo versus Angel Superstar and Gangsta X.
I feel 2 up and comers that are doing fantastic between Angelus and Gangster X, and then you have Angel, who's just phenomenal to watch.
Yeah, Gangsta X is getting better and better every day. Every week. Big shout out to fewer guys from working.
Yes.
Get better every day. That's the thing. There's a lot of guys who don't even bother getting in the training. This is why I see them. I see them there all the time. It's like, hey, what can I do better? What can I do better? It's taking the time to get there.
So, like, I think we touch on this a lot because I think we see too much. That a lot of these young guys are not sitting there talking to these vets, not soaking up that knowledge. You have to. You have to sit there. You gotta get sit down and talk about it because they might point you in the right direction. They might help you do something even better. You know, it's really fun, and this. Let me explain something to you folks. Yes, there's not a physical. We don't have a very large physical crowd when we do these tapings. These guys know they're performing for you guys on the screen, and they're giving it everything they got. So keep that in mind. When someone tries to downplay, I said this before, it doesn't matter where a company is filming. It could be, I've been in companies where they film in a barn. It looks amazing. People film in backyards. They film wherever they can just to get the content out to you guys. So, and there's a lot of people who want to, for lack of a better term, shit all over that. You know, it's one thing I love about trolls. I'll say this right now. I figured out what a troll is. And it's not the mystical fairy tale one either. A troll, I figured out, is someone who is angry at people who are successful in something they have failed at. So they just want to crap all over anyone who's doing well. So to me, like I said, these guys are going out there, they're hustling, and they're working very hard for you people watching at home. Right. And something I kind of wanted to bring up, and we have a nice panel for this. Everyone talks about the indie darlings that make it big. But how come I don't see these people who are in support of a Kevin Owens or Daniel Bryan? Or like, you know, CM Punk, these guys who made it big on the indies. I don't see these people trying to watch more indie shows. All they talk about is WWE, AEW, no offense, God bless them, whatever. Do you think people need to start supporting the indies again? Really start showing love?
Yeah.
A lot of us, that's where we come from.
Yeah. You start at the indies, and sometimes, after a good time, go back to the indies to continue your career. And that's where a lot of guys make more money.
Well, I know, yeah, that was a big thing. I know one Prince Iakea. For those of you who have no idea who he is, I'm not mad about that. One time someone told me he used to make close to just merchandise and stuff, $4,000 show between merchandise and wrestling. You know? And it's just like that amazes me. And so I don't know, like I think the indies don't have the same reputation that they did a few years back because WWE, all the big companies, WWE, AEW, MLW, are snatching up this guys.
And everybody.
Yeah.
They're taking the core part out of the indies.
Yeah.
Trying to boost their companies. And some succeed,
But
some fail.
yeah, and in a way, it's sometimes you gotta do the best for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you got to feed the fan.
Absolutely. You know, some people like it.
And CM Punk's one of them. He wasn't happy at the WWE at the time, so
Yeah.
he left. And then they were coming at him over one.
Yeah, I think.
And he's like, if it's going to be the same way it used to be, I don't want to.
Well, sorry if I mess up his name a few times. Daniel Bryan or Brian Danielson. When he was let go the first time, he told Vince McMahon, "Thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to make more money doing indies than I would working for you anyway." Now, at what point? Now I'm asking. You know, we have Frankie, we have Wolf, we have Ace here. You guys, you're in the business. You're working hard. At what point is it like I need to make the money versus I need to perform my art, this combat art? When did you have to make that choice? When did you decide like what's more important sometimes? Because there's sometimes I know you. There's some people you don't like to work for, but
I can't speak for any of them. I can only speak for myself. We can only speak for ourselves.
yeah,
I'm at a point in my career where, you know what, if I make it great, if not, you know what, it is what it is. I know I'm doing my part of the business by giving others a platform, giving others a chance to learn from guys who will possibly make it, and giving people a chance to go out there, either make it or break it. That's what LTW is about. Giving guys who don't get a chance. Like I've been in the position of where I worked for a company. We all know who this company is, but I worked for a company, and I was just that guy that was a belt holder for a moment of time. And Tony's here. Tony, you should come in the door.
Yeah, I'm come on.
No, Tony, Tony was a witness to this. I was given a belt with no chance to defend it.
Oh wow, I'm still okay with the action.
Yeah, well.
And why don't you just behind?
How you doing? That's my ass.
Ratings just went up.
Oh yeah.
So, like Tony, you can remember when I was given the hardcore championship at Set Promotion, and I
Said Wrestling Federation.
right, and I never had a chance to actually, defend it.
I remember that I even tried because we had a match. It wasn't a singles match; it was a tag team match. But I pinned him at the time; he was the hardcore champion. So I figured, you know what? Like I wasn't told to do this, but let me make a promo to try to maybe spice things up. I knew that he wanted to defend it if he had it, and I was like, and I'm not. You guys know that I don't do a lot of hardcore things, but I just wanted to have a match with him because mostly I know that he wanted to defend it. So I made this promo. It was totally just blowing off. He was in a tag team match the next show. I was
And that's my thing. And that's
I
my
was a
thing.
ninja or something.
And that's my thing. Guys like us, we were what they call in the business, I guess, ticket sellers. And just guys that were just thrown into random matches. And that was one thing I knew that I never wanted to do if I had my own promotion. And now at LTW, everything we do, this is the shoot. These people are getting a straight shoot, right? Shoot. Everything we do is a story. Everyone from the guy legitimately working the sound, the reps, hell, Rich Reed, okay, jacket security.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
And Rick Reed goes above and beyond.
Every time.
And let me tell you something. Everyone has a story to tell.
There's not a lot of announcers that do what he does. He goes out there, does acting, and he does the storytelling, and the announcing, the commentary. He literally does it all. And little secret, he can train a little bit too. So
I want to go out and I'll publicly say this. Rich Reed will makes every match sound big time.
Yeah.
He gives it, and this is something I feel maybe not a lot of announcers do this. He makes every match feel good. He makes every match feel important.
he makes me feel good. He makes every person feel good because, like, I mean, the way he says my name,
It's the
I mean, it's just-
vocalization of
Yeah.
he could just go out there and just
Announce
say,
you guys
"Here
for the
it is,
ring."
Tony G." And
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, you got to respect that person too. But at the same time, the fact that Rich makes sure that, like you said, it's like every show is a big show for him because he treats it that way. And you should see him before we start. I'll give away a little bit more information here. Before we start, he's literally practicing our names. Like, I mean, just making sure that he's going to do it the best he can before we start.
Yeah. I think that's a huge thing that he does. But I feel like maybe I don't see it as much anymore. But like I said, I've been backstage where guys are just chilling, and all of a sudden he starts saying their name, and it's a switch. Guys get pumped up as soon as he starts talking. Which I think it's a huge deal. Like he says, everyone here at LTW, no one's really treated like they're small. You're treated how you earn it.
Exactly. What is you earn? Everyone earns their spot here. Everyone puts in the work. Everyone does what they got to do, and even got guys that go above and beyond. And for that, I'm thankful to have such a great locker room, a great group of guys that want to run a great show and
Help out.
just help out. Like we're not just some other pop-up company where we got guys come out to get their shit and go home. We got guys that are staying until the whole venue's empty or until the ring's broken down. And hence, we even got guys here right now on the show here for you guys because they love it.
Yeah.
Lots of chips.
No, good enough.
This is big.
By the way,
Or is that you?
I can't wait for Briggs Reed to learn how to wrestle because my money's on Briggs versus Robbie and damn you. Briggs Reed is the greatest dancer ever lived.
Special guest referee. Ooh.
Wow, is that something cool?
Holy crap, once.
Okay. If that ever happens,
I don't know.
I'll put my money with money, Rob. No. Last time me and him made a bet, I don't remember what happened. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. But see, like this is one thing. Yes, this is something that I want to bring up. It was a bad night. Anyways, depending on your point of view.
Somebody goes, I'm watching from Canada, LTW is better than
You mean step wrestling?
Step wrestling.
So,
We love Canada. We support Canada.
Remember that? Yo.
but something that I
Hey, buddy.
now you've been in all these feds. One thing I do like about I love, and people say I'm just putting out the other. Well, LTW does something that I don't see a lot of. From your announcers, they're into it. From your workers, they're into it. Now,
Can I actually just say one thing though? I was at a different show yesterday called PWE Wrestling Explosion. They run out of Philadelphia. Let me say that the announcer, her name was Alyssa, I can't remember her last name, but she was phenomenal. She talked to every single person to get backstory of who they were, who their story was.
Get those lights up. Let's
And,
go.
and I can't wait to hear because I wasn't able to hear it. If you guys were watching live, I mean, let me know how it was because it was live on IWTV yesterday. But like she like really like I mean, and number one, like I was very impressed because when I went up to her, I was telling her a little bit, and then she started telling me a little bit about our story. She watched the promos. She listened, to what I was saying. She got it. And you could tell that she was getting into it. It wasn't just listening, writing stuff down. She's like, oh, so that what I mean? Like she wanted to she wanted to ask, like to make sure that she understood. And she was so good. I have to put her very good. Like I don't get a lot of announcers like that.
exactly.
Very good.
Now he touched on something. Is promos, the art of the promo, getting people to care with your words. Is it becoming a dying art?
Yeah. I personally feel like that people are so concerned about doing like flippings, doing stuff like that during a match. You know what I mean? Being flashy, and they don't care about putting the actual character of the worker.
It's like the term, but it's spot on.
It's funny. I just was at Chinese buffet the other day, like a local Chinese buffet. And as soon as I go up, there's this kid that recognizes me. Kelly's a good fan. He's doing a lot about my character. But I'm gonna think. If I just asked this kid, name 3 of the wrestling moves that I do, I bet maybe he could do it, but I bet he would be able to think whatever. But he can name Italian, my name, my fiance's name, everything about me and who I am as a character, and a little bit about myself as a person. This kid knew, but if I asked him to name my wrestling moves, he'd be like, I don't know. I have no idea because it's like and that's not like hating on somebody, but it's because what I'm trying to say is the moves aren't as important. It's about connecting with the person to make them want to like you as a character, follow you as a character.
Yeah, I think we're all wrestling historians on this. Just so you know, we love watching wrestling at old school. We love going back in the day. I think honestly, back in the day, they sold the match. You were hooked into the match before you even saw a hole because how they used to talk.
Some guy named Rambo Juggalo said less is more when it comes to wrestling.
Yep. Sometimes.
You know what though? This is the roller coaster of the wrestling business. Remember, before it was less was more. Now people want to see more. Now it's going back to less is more.
But this is the thing. It's not that everybody wants to see more. You said that I've been a lot of places.
Yeah.
Different places want to see different things. I go to a local crowd around here, where we are in New Jersey, a lot of people in the crowd, they want to see you test yourself and push your limits. They don't really want to see the story, and that's sad in my opinion because I like to tell a story that I wrestle. I don't like to go out there and kill myself just because somebody's like, oh, he's not hurt enough. He's
Yeah.
not really enough. I think that's crazy. But like at the same time, like there's places out in like like I've been to St. Louis and I've been to Ohio
Mhm.
and I've been even places parts of Pennsylvania that. Are you talking to me? Okay, sorry. We had a so what's it called? So I was out in like a part of Pennsylvania even where they really want to see that old school feel. They want to see they want to see you work a hole. They want to see you
Yeah.
like they wrestle. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
They want to see the story that you can tell out of that match too. They want to make sure that like they can get it. You know what I mean? And like me and Onslaught, for instance, like,
Mhm.
we worked in St. Louis area.
Yeah.
And he and I we worked there. We worked this whole year about that fair.
Mhm.
That's what they have to bring it down.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real quick, before we go any further, so we're live on TikTok, Tony. So today we captured like 8,000 likes. So we still got to get that story with you and you and Kurt Angle
Yeah.
that people want to know. So where should we tap the lights off before you tell us?
Where are we at?
We're at 1.3. I'd say we're 6 or 7,000 likes.
Okay, 6,000 likes, and I'll tell all about Kurt Angle. All about the motion capture with Kurt Angle. I want to tell you more, but we're getting there, right?
We're getting 1.4. We're at 1.4.
Okay, yeah, keep it going, guys. Keep it going, and then I will tell you all about Kurt Angle. You guys want to hear it? I mean, listen. I'll tell you something you already know without me having to tell you. He's Olympic gold medalist, a former world champion in TNA, a former world champion in New Japan, world champion in WWE. I don't have to even tell you these things. This man is a legend. Oh, guys, he even did motion capture with a break. But see, that was a lie. I'll tell you all the truths if we get to 6,000. So keep it up.
So to get back to TikTok Live, I mean, Tony, what did you feel you do with TikTok Live?
Hey, you know what? I thrive off that because I love getting a live reaction. I love people that are able to get to see, obviously there's like editing involved with the show. You know what I mean? There's segments. We do everything in segments, but in TikTok Live, you're watching a match, and then the next match starts, and then the next match starts. There's no breaks. There's no cutting. There's no, okay, guys, are you ready? There's none of that. It's just, you gotta be ready. You gotta go. Me and Kid Badass had a very nice, good competitive match today on TikTok for you guys. We were very vocal to the camera. It's very interactive. You know what I mean? We try to make it as interactive as possible. We talk to you. We want to hear your opinions. If you want me to do my scissor kick, which I don't think I've really done in LTW at all.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Then tell me on TikTok, and then they can shout it out. Hey, you're calling for the scissor kick. Maybe I'll go for it. Right? It's very interactive.
That's
something that's special about it.
Express today that what happens on TikTok, the fans can determine who the match is. I mean, right? You and I had a killer match. We don't see eye to eye. We had a killer match for the YouTube belt right here behind me, and
First ever.
yeah. Tell you something. I think this is definitely.
I think this is going to be a fun way to go because one thing I like about live versus edited, live just has a completely different vibe to it because wrestlers can go, okay, I messed up, so they can edit this out later. Live, you can't edit nothing out. You got to go. You can't, you mess up, move on to the next thing.
Yep. Right.
I think that's a true test of what a wrestler can do.
But here's the thing. If you think about it, what we're doing is we're in a fight, right? So there's no messing. Mm-hmm. There is messing up if you hesitate. That guy that you're facing, if you hesitate, if you do something that is not supposed to happen, then that guy, you shouldn't stop and think what's going on. You should take advantage. Mm-hmm. That person stops. Why would I ever stop? If that person hesitates on me, that person's going down. Yeah. Because that's the thing. There's no to me, when we're in there, it's the real deal. I'm making sure that I am the real deal. That especially when you're on TikTok live, you got to know right there live in person that I am the real deal, and I can show you that on the LTW Dark Show, which you can tune into YouTube, watch, or I can show you that live, November 12th, right? Well,
Oh yeah, we're on 12.
or I could show you live on TikTok every Sunday at 4 p.m.
Yeah, that's a huge thing, folks. That you just announced that today.
Every Sunday, 4 p.m.
Because I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Tom Lacey. Thanks for always having our back.
Yes,
Being very supportive of us.
Lacey Township Wrestling.
Yep. That's who we are. That's who we are. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I find wrestling most of the time should be something fun to watch. Now, I'm gonna ask you guys. I love asking these guys questions. Did you
Real
get this?
quick, Ryan,
I miss you too, Ryan.
You too,
what you do, Ryan?
All right, go ahead.
Ryan is adorable. So now, let me ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you guys this question: has wrestling, in some aspects, lost that combative edge? Remember, because wrestling is considered a combat. Now, is it because of the fluffiness?
Let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's there's certain wrestlers that have lost that. There's certain wrestlers that would like to, and this is not a bad thing. I'm not saying this to say bad about it, but it's just that there's certain wrestlers that would like to out there just like perform like acrobatics, and some of it makes sense. Some of it looks really good, very impressive, and actually makes it look combative. Makes it actually look like it's what I mean, like it's a real fight, but they're still athletic. It's like, wow, like when you watch Mortal Kombat. I mean, not all of that stuff that they do in Mortal Kombat is necessarily what we really use to fight. How cool do they make it look?
I love watching.
And how convincing do they make it look? So there's people out there that do that, but there's some people who try when they're not yet at that level. Like all right, so let me tell you something that Maiden pulled back. I got to speak to Maiden one time, talking up one better.
Yep.
And he told me that it's so important to learn everything from the ground up. You need to learn all your basics. You need to perfect your basics. You need to make sure that you are the best you are on the ground before you start flying, before you go to the top, before you do the big moves, before you do all these things. You need to get that groundwork done. I feel like some people, they'll just they'll get that groundwork just good enough, and then they'll move on to that next thing. And that really, number one, hurt you, hurt your opponent, and also can just quite frankly make you and the whole company that you're working for look bad, because that makes it look like, oh, okay, this is a show. Watch play.
Yes.
You know what I mean? As
So
opposed to watching
that ties into exactly what I said. I said today, I'm not trying to call him out, but let's be honest. We talked about Gang Status. You brought up my attention at one time, hey man, great guy, but he's had a rough time running around the road.
I had a great match with him on the last episode that not the episode that was just posted, but the one before that. If you watch the match that we had, it was a fantastic match. But yes, I did say that his form of running the ropes could have been better, and that he could have been more effective. Maybe he could have done better for me if his maneuver was better.
What do you
So
do that?
trained. He trained. He did better. And guess what? In his match today, I wasn't in his match today. We're not going to who was with what was happening, but it was a great
Should have
match.
watched it live.
And let me tell you, well, that wasn't a live. So this is a tape match that you can see on the show on our YouTube channel if you're subscribed and have notifications on. But yeah, I mean, you watch this match and you watch him run the ropes in the match against the game. Watch him run the ropes in this match without the next episode. And I mean, not just running the ropes, but the whole match itself. He does phenomenal.
Yep.
And so does his opponent.
So let's talk about, maybe you're going to follow this topic. Let's talk about guys who train maybe for, let's say, 3 months, and they got the basics down, the minor things down, and they're like, all right, that's it. And they go in and they're like, oh, I've been training at so and so, not how you book your show. And you got new promoters out there who aren't going to know who this person is, where they train. Like, you feel like that's more of a common issue?
Who's that?
He knows it's a pet peeve I
I know.
have. Okay.
I knew it was spring.
Okay, I'm good. No, I'm good. I find certain people I wouldn't know anything. This is why I'm so far over here. I feel that a lot of new promoters who are looking to fill their roster are going to give these guys who have 2 to 3 months of training, sometimes not even consistent training, a shot because they need to fill their roster. I honestly think, I don't care how old I sound, when I wanted to train for this business, it was a year before I was allowed to have my first match. A full year. And that was 3 months of training on the thin blue men on the floor. Shut up, Dave. I don't care.
Years.
Let's put this Okay, let's say, I'm going to say right now,
Wait a minute. When did WWE
I will fight you. All right, I'll put it out there. When I first tried to break into this business as a wrestler, it was 20 years ago.
Okay.
20 years ago. You bastard going.
38 bastard.
But that was the thing when I was taught. It was you had to drill the basics for 3 months. Then you were allowed to get in the ring for another 3 months of running the ropes, the basics. Once you were past that level, then you got to learn the more advanced stuff. So it was almost a year later that I was allowed to have my first match, and then to have the guy who trained me come up and say, "You're not ready, but we need somebody." Then you have these children, who after 3 months of training, not consistently either saying, "Well, I'm ready and I'm going to go do this." Stop it. First off, you're giving the guy, an honest trainer who worked with you, a bad name that you're fucking up, and then it doesn't help the business because then people see this crap and they're like, "Why you gotta do this to me, man? Set me up." No. Oh man, but it is common.
Yeah. Isn't that, Tony? I mean, everybody you see, like,
Well, this is the thing. Like my opinion on it is, I mean, obviously people need to work in crowds in order to get exposure. But this is, you have to be able to win spots. And you're gonna be able to like know that they're perform. So somebody who's maybe 3-4 months into training, if they're really good and they are being consistent, let them do it. You know what I mean? Let them maybe even rap. You know what I mean? Just like let them do something that's involved with the show. Let them hold the camera. Let them do something that's close to the action, so that they also, like, number one, they're close to the show. They see how everybody's working. They get to watch the person.
Yes.
Number two, they get to learn a new skill within business, and that's just as valuable. Like, I mean, for me, for instance, I always like to tell this story with We Want Wrestling, which we haven't really run anything in a while. We Want Wrestling, but at the last official We Want Wrestling episode, I won the heavyweight championship. I got to defend it one time at the Boardwalk Club show, and this is the thing. The story goes like this: I really wanted to go to We Want Wrestling. I heard it was a cool place. COVID was just like kind of starting to relax a little bit, and there was a new place that we could finally go, record some content, and it's cool, you know. Like, and all of a sudden, I got an opportunity to go, and there was no match to go. So I said, "Let me be the referee." And the person, the promoter, he said, "Are you sure?" He said, "I know you're a wrestler. I don't want to make you do that." I said, "Dude, I just want to be here." Because like more people have to have that attitude, because all of a sudden, like, I went from being a referee that day to losing every single one of my matches I had in the first season, to then starting to win a couple matches in the second season, to eventually win the tournament last episode.
Yeah.
To become a champion. And that's because I stuck around. I knew when I needed to be at certain places and what I needed to do at certain times, and it's just, you have to take any and all opportunities if you really want.
Yeah, my first job in wrestling was referee. I had a referee. It didn't matter that at the time I was physically bigger than a lot of wrestlers. I had to referee. That was my job. It was a great way to learn. And you just get these younger people. Yeah, you get these younger people that come in and then it's just no. You don't know. We were saying it before. Just because you watch something in Japan doesn't mean you can do it here.
Yeah.
That's why we go to the left.
Let's
You go to the left in Japan.
No, they go to the right. It's Mexico. Well, they go to the right everywhere else but America.
no. Japan doesn't care. They go.
They go both.
Sit down.
I just wanted to share. No, I want to share my experience because my first time in a wrestling ring as part of a show was also a ref, and I was the worst ref in the history of referees. Like I was worse than Ole Anderson as well.
Wow.
But the point is,
Yeah.
the point we're all trying to make is that people start. I didn't get a chance to do anything until almost a year of my training with LTW. That was a birthday party, rumble. I was lucky to get thrown in that thing. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was my first experience for a live crowd. That was like 11 years ago.
Yeah, I had a job one time at a show where I just like it was me and somebody else, and we just had to open the doors when wrestlers were coming,
Exactly.
and that's it. That was our job all night. We had to stand there by the doors, and when the wrestlers' music played, and they said, "All right, it's time," we open the doors for them, and they go through like old school, Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't like that extravagant. It was just
No, but I get what you're saying.
But that's like that's the job we had. And I'm pretty sure that I can't remember who, but I'm pretty sure that there was somebody famous who even did that, like somebody who went on to become like a more prominent wrestler. Did that job. Yes, it was the Hardy Boys. The Hardy Boys were the king of the ring door openers.
Jester outfit.
Yes, Jester outfit. So that's the thing. I got to open the doors at this company, but guess what? I also got to pick the Nunzio's ring, locker room for most of the night.
That's the thing.
Which
And if you just go out of your way to talk to these people, they want to share their knowledge.
Exactly. That's the problem. You got kids out there, and new kids out there that think, oh, well, just come on the show. I'm just not going to show up. I'm going to do this. Meanwhile, you're getting a chance to, regardless of what you're doing on the show, you're getting a chance to be a part of the show, helping out in some way, shape, or form. And you're getting an opportunity to go back to the locker room. You're going to talk to all the veterans in there about what they've been through. How do they do this? How do they do that? Like,
I think I got to help out. Mind you, I work for LTW. My main job is LTW. Here is backstage stuff. But another show, Liz SWF, I got to help out backstage and got to pick the brains and talk and work with people, which is, I think, a lot of fun. And I think something that needs to be. What? Okay, so I got to work that. I got to work that backstage area. Now, maybe you guys won't get. Maybe a lot of you guys don't get this opportunity. But I know when I was at my training. Yeah.
500 away.
Yeah.
500 miles away from hearing all about Kurt Angle's motion capture for the wrestling code.
Can we get 500 before the end of the episode?
I think we can get 500 in the next 15 minutes.
Well, let's get 15. I think we can do 5 with the way that people are doing.
Because you know why this is working, folks? Because we're actually talking about stuff that's important. Because you just said it yourself. The Hardy Boys were the king of the ring jesters. Ready? I'll give you 3 names: Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Alexa Bliss. Remember when Triple H had that weird entrance with the girls? They were the girls. It doesn't matter what job you get; it's an opportunity. You should take it. Back in the day, I was lucky enough to where the promoters and owner of a company I was in allowed me and my friends to sit down and learn how to run a show. We learned how production worked, which became later on my job in a lot of companies.
I could touch on that right now with Chris last night. Showed up to help Chad with the ring rental. Yeah. The big guy saw him. Took him, put him at the front door to collect tickets. 20 minutes later, he's working segments in the back of the roller. And then they asked him to come back next year.
Everest is a prime example of the right way to do it.
Yep. Not just show up. No.
Yeah, I've seen guys do this. First off,
around did not do it.
do me a favor. Don't show up to shows in your gear. Stop it. Stop it right now. Don't show up to shows in your gear. Once again, okay, this is my
Please
show.
walk in the building with your gear.
Please don't do that. please. Man. Okay, my age is going again. Shut up.
And don't wear other companies' shirts unless it's like where you train.
Okay, if you train at said company,
If you train there, then you can totally wear the shirt. But if you're showing up somewhere else wearing another company's shirt, they're gonna be like, "What do you do?" You know what I mean? It's just like,
They did it. Somebody showed up as an extra to MLW, had an Impact shirt. They told him, get another shirt or 10 years inside out.
yes.
He went and got an MLW sports shirt.
But see, this is the thing, and then you see a lot of guys, and no disrespect, I know we are fans, we're not just wrestlers, commentators, but we're fans too. Don't wear another wrestler's merchandise to a show. All right, so you can get that story. Don't wear another wrestler's, like, it's one thing if I come to a show, I wear an Air shirt, or I wear a Tony Tini shirt. They're on the show. But you're never going to see me wear a Kenny Omega shirt or someone in WWE. Anybody. Roman.
well, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm gonna disagree with you on that because, like, when I was a kid, I didn't have a lot of money. Parents didn't really like wrestling. My mom, she supports me in every way, but at the time, she didn't want to go out and buy it. I mean, I had wrestling merchandise, but to go out and indie show, she didn't really understand. Like, she would get me the WWE shirts, you know what I mean? Those, like, especially like stuff like that. Like, not really WWE. But like, like, that's all I had. So that's what I showed up with because I wanted to be a part of like that, like, that like wearing that cool. But also it depends on the person. Like, I mean, maybe like Kenny Omega might be different because he's like a current star. But like, I used to show up in like maybe like Andre the Giant shirt or like, like a WrestleMania 3 shirt, or you know what I mean, like something that's old school, vintage. Like, I feel like I went on to the Giant shirt that I still wear today. I went to WrestleCon with it. Got so many compliments. And wrestlers all over the place. Like, they love the shirt, and it's cool. It's vintage. You know what I mean? But yeah, I see what you mean. Like, if I were to show up, like, somewhere,
especially if you're going to work there.
Well, if you're going to work,
if you're going as a fan, wear whatever the hell.
I thought you were talking about fans.
No. Fans can wear whatever. I'm talking about workers.
Okay, yeah.
Workers
Well, I still then my statement still lies because
no, you're still awesome.
Yeah. Because I would still show up in my
Andre the Giant is fine.
French Amy.
Yeah, Andre the Giant. All right, do your story, man. I need to
hear this story.
What are we at?
We're over 6 minutes.
All right. Well,
oh, no, you guys, look. Wasn't even 15 minutes and we got that.
It was
Don't
5
play
minutes.
with me.
It was under 5 minutes.
There you go. Where you going, homie?
Put it behind the back. There's no way to put Drax. Okay, this Drax.
Guys, we
use the ammunition.
Drax.
Saves.
Just fine.
You guys gave me a gun.
Go.
I didn't use it. Go ahead. And if you're gonna shoot it, go outside.
How do I do it?
Jesus.
So,
all right, Tony, you guys.
Pointing
it this way. Stop.
If he hits,
You're pointing it towards the electrical.
Yeah. No.
you want to get extra fire?
Who are you to boss me around?
All right. We want to get the Tony story.
All right, we're good. All right, so let's get the story. So now, give me the answer. Yeah, you take it. Yeah. So,
Why'd you guys give me a gun in the first place?
So, this is the story. So now, we're in Pittsburgh. This is the hometown of Olympic gold medalist.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
the story better be good. The story better be good.
No, so Olympic gold medalist for now. Now, I am like, obviously, you get a little bit of nerves, but at the same time, I'm excited, and at the same time, I'm also trying to be professional because I want to make sure that like he is comfortable and not feeling like just like like breathe down that stuff like that. But like, and we didn't do that by any means. But when he walked in, and he first walked through the door, I just remember walking up to shake his hand, and his eyes—they're very blue. I'm not sure if anybody's ever noticed that. They're very blue. and like they're almost like they have like this like gray, like far away, almost bluish. Like, I can't even explain. But it like as soon as I shook his hand, like it's like I felt my body, and I'm a little bit taller than him, but like I felt my body almost shrink. Like I was like 10 years old, and I just like was looking up at him. Like even though I was, you know, I'm like like, physically I'm taller and I'm looking down to him, but like I was looking up at him because it's like, whoa, like you know what I mean? And he had that presence, and it was honestly incredible. Like I mean, just from the moment I shook his hand, you know. But the thing that was cool was like he said like you know like his knee was bothering him a little bit, but he still went in there and he ran the ropes. You know what I mean? He did his taunts, he did like basic movements and all that kind of stuff. And then it came time for us to do his moves. And the only moves that he was going to be doing for the game himself was going to be the angle slam and the ankle lock. There's going to be a couple different variations. So there's this calibration. This is a funny story that I'm going to tell you. I'm going to put my one on blast here. So there's this calibration that we have to do. And if you want, on the TikTok, we're going to show it live. I'm going to show you how this calibration looks. You're not going to see it on here, though. I'm sorry. But basically, you have to walk like this. Like at the very beginning, like to actually get yourself calibrated, you have to do a walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. Around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and turn around, stand there straight. And you have to do this and stand straight and not move for like about a minute, sometimes longer, depending on how long it takes to download. But you have to stand still. Now, just imagine that it doesn't work, and you have to tell Kurt Angle to do it again. now, just imagine that you have to do that several times. So he keep walking. We're like, oh man, and it's just like you know, it's just something with the receivers, like you know, it's not it's nothing with current. But at first, you know, maybe a couple times he moved, he didn't really get it. Yeah. But like, it's hard to get. Like you have to stand still even after you do it. You cannot move the muscle. But then after that, it's a lot easier. Once you do that, you have to stand still for a second. They calibrate and stuff. But then. So we finally get the walk calibrated. It's finally done. I'm being stretched. Oh, great. Oh, I was being told to shut. No, sorry. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So anyway, where was I in the story? So the calibration happened. We finally got it. All right. Now we're finally about to do it. Right before you do a move, you need to do the just a regular calibration where you just stand still. It takes like just like a second. Then I have to do it because I'm taking the move. Then we both have to stand back to back, right heel to right heel, and do it. It just takes a second. Then after that, you stand in front of each other, T-pose, and it's about to happen. I'm finally going to take the first angle slam that I've ever taken in my whole entire life. Probably one of the only angle slams I've ever taken in my entire life. All of a sudden, and again, I'm going to put my boy on blast. Zach Ruby. Zach Ruby, who did, let me say this, a wonderful job by helping out. Number one, by strapping up Kurt Angle, you know, helping us strap up Kurt Angle, helping us with computer work, even with the tech stuff. You know what I mean? Because the person's virtual basement came alone. He didn't have his other partner, so he had to teach Zach a lot of stuff. But anyway, there was also a fan.
Hold on 1 second. I gotta stop you. I got a comment that says from this guy completely random. Alex the Destroyer comments. I prefer Grant.
Okay, that's cute.
This has nothing to do with Grant. This is Tony's story with Kurt Angle.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with Grim, but Grim is in the Wrestling Code game, which should be available hopefully soon. We are doing hard work on the motion capture. I'm actually going back for more motion capture at their home base next weekend. So that's going to be really cool. We're recording a lot more stuff. It's going to be great. You guys are probably going to be updated on that if you guys follow over to the basement. But regardless, so anyway, we're about to get to the punchline of the story here. I love it. And Tech Lady just called us. Yeah. So anyway, what's it called? So we're finally about to do this. I'm finally about to take the first angle slam. Yeah. all of a sudden, Zach Ruby goes to try to move the fan because there's a fan there because it's hot.
Yeah.
He tries to move the fan, which was nice of him to try to move the fan for us. But
I'm gonna kill you.
oh no! Oh god! Anyway, he goes to move the fan, and all of a sudden, Zach Ruby goes, I think the computer turned off.
Oh,
And number one, I'm in the ring with Kurt. I thought he was going to kill him. Because the first thing I think is not even about the walking calibration that we have to do again, by the way. I thought all the stuff that we just finally recorded, is it gone?
no.
But thank God, all of it was safe. But this is the thing. When Zach Ruby goes, I think the computer turned off. The guy from Virtual Basement, I don't know if he wants me to use his name, that's why I'm not using it. But the guy from Virtual Basement goes, what do you mean you think the computer turned off? And he goes, well, I moved the fan and the wire came loose. He's like, so the computer turned off. He goes, yeah. And now I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, Kurt Angle's probably going to German suplex me because he's probably going to kill somebody. Like, I mean, I'm the closest one to him. So that's it. But no, thankfully, he was really cool about it. He just sat down. We both sat down. We talked. It actually kind of worked in my favor because I got to pick his brain and talk to him. I asked him really cool questions. I asked him about who he studied when he first got into WWE because you got to wonder. I mean, with somebody who already has the knowledge of real wrestling and real like actual wrestling, like Olympic style wrestling, who are they going to study? I mean, like, it was actually surprising what he told me and it made a lot of sense at the same time. I would have thought that maybe he would have went back to the roots of wrestling, maybe watched the old school guy. But what he said was that he was watching the guys, whoever was new at the time, that's who he watched. So at his time, that was Triple H, The Undertaker, Stone Cold, all those kinds of people, and that's what he studied. And he said that made the most sense to him because number one, that's the level that people kind of get pushed it to right away, which made total sense. But number two, that's the level that he wanted to be on. So that's who he studied because that's the people that like he wants to emulate because if he wants to be on their level, he has to perform the way that they perform. Yeah. So that made a lot of sense. And because I'm somebody who studies a lot of old school wrestling myself, and I try to put old school wrestling into a lot of my my actual wrestling that I do. But it made a lot of sense what he said. You know what I mean? It's good to pay attention to what's happening now because obviously those people are on TV for a reason, whether you agree with it or not. Yeah. I mean, they were asked to be there for a reason. You don't just show up and show up in your gear and get booked there. You know what I mean? So it's just, yeah. I mean, it was cool to hear that. But yeah, we got to talk for a while. Then we finally got the calibrations all good to go. Finally, Zach Ruby was banned from touching the fan. And we also dubbed anything that went wrong the Zach Ruby special. So that's a little inside joke, which is funny. But then we actually did make fun of drag space a lot. But then we ended up doing the ankle slam. We did the ankle lock. You guys haven't even seen how the ankle slams came out yet.
All right, just so you know, seeing that door open by itself, falling in the room, freaking sound.
I'm watching The Grudge live right now. Except
The Grudge
instead of coming out of the TV, she's just coming out of the what's it called? The door. Oh my God! Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! No!
What are you gonna do now?
She's looking for
Oh my! No! All right, folks.
I'm smart.
I'm biting on your phone. Okay. All right, truce.
It's literally dripping from the ceiling.
Truce. The candle went out. I'm hiding under Frank. Oh my! I had nothing to do with this attention. All right, truce. Truce. Yeah.
Yes, you win. Because, I don't get shot in the something you get.
Oh my God!
I can't even sit down here anymore. It's raining here. It's raining.
Oh
Oh my God!
I'm glad I brought a towel. She came rolling up like, oh, this floor.
Come on, I didn't even. All right, no, stop. Okay, all right, stop. No. Oh, it's in my ear.
Oh, come on. Why? I didn't do it.
We got that because we were winning. I'm guilty by association.
No.
Well, now that everything is saturated, glad I brought my towel.
Oh my god.
I just won't do it myself. I'm getting the camera. I probably already did.
Oh my god.
I got it in my ear.
Do you hear the ocean?
I didn't put my water
Hold on, I need
It's all over the couch.
bottle. It's okay. It's just
Well, it's leather.
Wrestling.
Wrestling. Oh my god. It would have been great if we had Kurt Angle on the show and that's
Anything can happen on the LTW
Then
show.
I would have been too close.
at least twice.
There is more to that story. I just don't know if I should tell it.
I mean,
we need more likes if you want to finish the story.
6,000 more? Where we at?
We're at 6.3.
Dude, we're in past this.
I say let's push to 9. Let's push to 9.
Yeah.
Let's push to 9,000 likes and then Tony will try to do it. Because apparently Tony has more to say.
Fucked up, bro.
Yeah, all right.
You're not gonna
I'm okay, I'm good. I'm hiding in the corner. I'm gonna sit down now. If I get shot again because of you. Hanging out with you is dangerous.
I'm literally drying the ceiling right now.
Don't listen to me nothing.
Listen. Tony's drying up. Everything is wet. Ceiling's
You want
wet.
paper towels?
Table's wet. Frank's wet.
I will not say anything else. I will catch somebody's hand. As people just stand at me and start giggling.
Hey,
So, see, just, I want to play something else.
say how you run a radio show.
I made a little, I didn't even make a full joke and people started giggling. They're going to play me for that.
Around. Send the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
No.
Hey, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers is dope.
Stop.
He don't mean it no more. He said sorry. He said sorry. Why am I helping you?
We just tried everything.
I'm gonna catch hands because of you.
I did not try to steal it.
Over here. Oh shit! No, he can't. He's sorry. Hey,
Shut it up.
say sorry. Say sorry. Say sorry. Just say it.
Phone, please, no.
The technical advisor of the
Hey, it's one of those.
Here, human steel. Oh my god.
Oh my God. Okay. We gotta finish the show.
Yeah. Where did Tony go? He ran.
Oh my god, I'm so scared.
Come on, eyes, bro. I can't see shit.
Okay. We good? No, we fine.
Frank's inside the couch right now.
Whatever you want, Frank.
Where is Frank?
Inside the couch. Frank is a
That's what you told me to do it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is what happens when your friend pisses off the production team. You get his bullets.
Okay.
I don't like water right now.
Right? Well, that's the one fingers, right? Not gonna lie.
That has a great X. That's LTW's ass.
So if you guys know what we're talking about, custom figure game. Two of it. So far.
Side note, I'm really happy because they got
It was raining where I was.
Tony said if we're not at 9,000 likes, we're not finishing the story.
Or coming back.
So if you guys want Tony to come back to his story, you gotta get to 9,000.
What are we at?
We're at 6.4.
Okay, keep it going, guys.
Keep it going.
Oh my god. That hurt.
Keep it going or it gets the hose again.
So while we're waiting for those links,
If you want to see them get hit again, hit the like button.
Wait, time out. Whoa.
you want merch, go to LTW
No, that's not what I said.
All the links for the merch there. LTW-live.com. Please stop pointing me down at me.
So 2 minutes ago. Okay, we got it. We got
Guys, look what I'm looking. This is
that. Okay, you see, you do these things, and this is what gets people shot.
Get those likes up.
You go,
Come to everyone's houses.
wow.
That went dark.
She's not saying. She's little but
What's the like
mighty.
that?
Quería tomar de la caja, no.
she even got these.
What?
You just got possessed.
That's what now, woman.
Caught that. What's the like that?
We're at 6.5.
If you get it to 7,
Why are you
because it'll get you more likes. If you get it to 7, we'll hit you guys again with the water.
Wow.
Then
More
nothing-
presents.
presents?
Presents.
Why are we going up?
Yeah, if you send
Why are you going-
presents, then they get hit.
Because
Yeah, presents and they get hit.
Presents and wait, what?
See,
Not
you
a-
agreed. Yes, you did. You
I
said
did?
yes.
hold
You
up.
did. You said yes.
I'm leaving right now because presents mean something else to me. Oh my God, I deserve that.
Okay, what? Except for
Morning
presents,
shot.
we get back water.
Yes.
So you guys want to see us get back?
And I said okay to
I
this.
actually put it on the camera for that without running and hiding.
And I actually said yes to this.
Thank you.
And that's what I'm not even drinking.
No, bro. I'm drinking water. I'm getting blessed with water.
We're being, we're being healthy. Can't stand H2O. H right now, H2O. No, I don't mean the Halloween movie. I actually like that.
Remember this.
I don't even know what we're talking about. I'm so overwhelmed with this shit.
I'm the president, don't lie.
There's no presents yet. There's no presents.
Why would we lie?
You don't get hit with water.
I can't. Trust me. That's why he asked me questions on air, and I suck at it.
It's like the lights are not even up there yet. We're at 6.5. You got to keep going.
Because you want to hear the Tony story, not necessarily get pelted with water.
That's why you get water.
Because apparently water makes me cuss in a different language. But anyway,
Look, James. So James Hines commented, he goes, the audio shopping. You wonder why the audio shopping?
We just got sprayed with water.
Blasted with water right now.
no,
wait.
presents. We made a deal.
I didn't know these guys.
What's that evil, bro? I'm like, production water. I'm scared.
Why are they giving us Christmas presents?
Thank you. No, he deserves that. Sorry, folks. No, not him. The other him. We're good right now. Okay.
9,000 likes, and you get to hear about how Kurt Angle scared me very, very badly.
Kurt Angle is scary. All right, now that we can go with something like
He's a
that.
very nice person, but he's very serious, and it's not something that I want to make angry with.
All right, here's the question I got, and let's see.
All right, let's get it. Get back to the question.
Here's a good question. Is there any wrestler that scares you? Like, if you got to meet them, you'd be legitimately terrified. Like,
Even scared of bro.
Greg.
Who else would get blasted in the face?
You know,
Anyway,
I have to say the other thing.
Undertaker?
yeah. All right, come on, it's my only show.
Andre?
Just beside him.
The Great Khali. That was that was real. I'm gonna get shot for that.
So let me talk about my personal experience with Great Khali.
Oh boy.
And I happened to meet him at an SWF event. I think that was your debut.
Yes.
That was your still
I've
in
never met the Great Khali.
that was still in Advil. And that was actually where JJ Adams and Prodigy met us. They bought tickets to Kansas.
Oh, wow.
So I go up to him
Uh-huh.
and I asked him for, if I can get his picture and everything like that, and I paid for it. And he just looked at me and then sat there and went, and I shook his hand. His hand was like twice the size of mine.
It was like
Yeah.
one of his hands for two of our hands.
And I said, and I walked away and I said, well, thank you. He both looked at me like, and I'll never forget when he chopped Preston on Montgomery.
Yo,
Last
that was some
Did you
spirit.
hear that, Matt?
Yes,
That was
that was my first show
He-
working in photography.
He chopped this dude's head and broke his glasses in half. And then and blood just started pouring down the front of his head. It was
His glasses were stuck in his head.
yeah.
The one
You
wrestler.
gotta call your relief.
Uh,
Yeah. The one wrestler who I constantly wanted to meet, because as a young kid growing up, he looked like me. And there wasn't that many wrestlers that did look like me on TV. Oh my God. Haku. That man terrified me. Because we've all heard the story.
New Jack was terrified.
You meet these, but
Oh yeah.
these guys are legitimately terrifying people. It's not like you go, hey, how you doing? It's like, sir, my bad if I'm blocking anything. But yeah.
Talking about new Jack, working him was pretty. Like everyone was like terrified of him. Like I wasn't terrified of him. He was actually pretty cool. Like he gave me advice and then he told me exactly what to do during the match, like how to do it. And I did that. Everything was fine.
I think New Jack is that classic example of if you show him respect. If you show a guy respect, that's what they're going to give you. Because when you've heard those horror stories about him, it's because he was disrespected. It wasn't that he legitimately went out of his way. If you disrespected him, then yeah, you
You
got
got the rats, brother.
yeah, you got screwed up. But if you showed him proper respect, coolest guy. Which is something I'll say this again. Is lacking.
I'm gonna go off on this kid right now. Alex, the short goes. What's the point of you winning the youth championship of GTS if you don't wrestle on? Wrong, because I wrestled on there for the past 5 years. Number two, I defended this belt 3 times on LTW since winning it. What has Greg done with the LTW title thus far?
Sit there with the other 6 on the shoulder.
Nada. And for those of you who don't speak Spanish, that means nothing.
Thank you.
Because if you're a champion, I'm just saying you should be defending your title or showing up to the company that you got the belt for.
Danny T. Evans has successfully defended the belt multiple times. Tony, you used to offer open challenges every week
Mm-hmm.
as he comes over here to support him. You know, Brand in the background. Brand.
Fran, we might need you because you know how we love the female perspective on life, and since none of us are females.
Without one,
But okay,
so where we at? We're at 6.9K views. Come on, we got 2 more K to go.
2K,
2.1K, sorry.
2.1K.
6.9.
But it's just based on the presence.
No, it's based on presents. They got to send presents if they want.
If they want the water.
No, but it has to be presents too. We agreed they have to send
That's
presents.
right. We
If you guys want to blast it with water, you have to send presents.
yeah. Don't do it.
No, I don't want to get wet anymore.
But you guys want to see it happen.
Yeah, we're all about giving the fans what
Yeah,
they want,
you guys want to happen, you got to send presents.
and we'll sit there and we'll take it, but
Thank you.
don't do it. Okay, once again, to answer Alex the Destroyer.
Yes.
Let me explain something to you. When you're a champion, back in the day, you defended your title everywhere. So Ace here defends his belt everywhere he can.
Ryan said, I already said, I will not be sending presents. Take that, tech lady.
That's rude.
Wow. Ryan, you're in trouble when you get here.
Yeah.
Ryan,
You in trouble?
He grounded.
You not even don't. I will send you six.
When you're here, Ryan, so you might want to your words. Wine
Check out this candy bag.
They're feeling.
I'm just trying to get a healthy mix.
Dude, look at what
All right. Now we can all agree. We can all agree.
gang. We don't have to worry about that.
Miss Frank.
where we at with time?
Yeah, how much time we have? Be honest.
You're at an hour.
An hour and 10. You guys have 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
You guys have 20 minutes to get it up to 9K, so Tony can finish the story and or send presents so they can blast us with water. Okay?
GTS, LTW, GTS.
There's a whole
argument.
argument. Fantastic.
Fantastic. 6 letters. Beautiful. You guys can spell. That's something for you. Anyway. Miss Franny.
Let me turn the camera so we can.
We can get Miss Franny. She's a female commentator because she's one and she into business. Miss Franny.
And current LTW champ.
And current LTW. This one I'm gonna talk to you about. Your current LTW Women's Champion. You would defend that belt any which way, anywhere, right?
Absolutely.
Do you feel all champions need to do that?
Yeah.
No matter where they at? You just want us to get sued is your problem. Damn.
That belt 24/7.
No. Our 24/7 champion was smart, didn't show up today.
Because of the strap, she thought it was her real
That's
belt.
the sniper
Yeah.
Daniel Marshall belt.
Yeah. But
I saw this and I was like, oh, okay.
That's
So I was like,
Daniel
let me
Marshall's
just go
belt.
with it.
that's Daniel Marshall's belt. So don't sue us. But so now, being the fact that you're a current champion, you feel that, and you're like, we have current champions, you should be defending that belt constantly, yeah? Right. How do you feel when folks don't show up for work? When the champion don't show up for work? What do you feel? Well, this is a subject we're constantly broaching because it's happening very much.
I'm gonna touch on that.
Touch it, touch it, roll it, rub it. Let's go.
Let's
Sorry, the
Sorry,
sugar
cut you off. But this happened recently. So I was on Facebook
Yes,
and I'm seeing a comment on Money Finance post.
yes.
And you had Casey Likett and Daniel Riley from the throne on there talking about how they want to come and take tag belts. But all they have to do is show up. And they don't show up.
Mm-hmm.
But yet they want the belts.
I'm gonna be here to have the belt. Show up.
You know what? Exactly. They just hit the net. Sometimes it's such a simple thing.
The Brooklyn Private show up every week and they're showing their belt. The Outlaws are here every week.
It's like for work because then somebody's got to pick up the slack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like the job.
When they don't show up.
Like Frank, you're a manager of a business. I'm not gonna tell anyone what your business, but you're a manager. How do you feel when people don't show up to your work? Pressure. That's like I'm bothering people, or you cover yourself. Okay. But I think my favorite thing of this is a business. Not only way that I don't think.
No, I 100% agree because one of my family members helps do wrestling stuff, and he had to come to a very harsh decision about a friend. But you've seen it. We've all seen it where it's like You have to make these hard decisions because at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for your business. And you can, and I dare you, if you're working at a job, you don't show up for work. You think they're gonna keep you?
Nope, you're getting that phone call.
You getting that phone
You
call?
show up, you fired. Don't come in.
Good luck with your future endeavors. You will be future endeavored.
But that's with any job.
Any job? No, that's what I'm saying. With any job.
It's not it. Any job. You know, that's another thing. You know, a lot of people take advantage of certain promotions. They think they got a permanent spot. I tell people like this is just like the army. You are expendable.
Exactly.
There's somebody always better than you.
There's somebody ready to take your spot.
Which, unfortunately, like you always want to help your friends, your family. You always want to help them out. But at the end of the day, if they ain't doing right by you, they got to stick up. And it sucks, but that's the reality we live in. I mean, our women's champion, I will say this right now. Our women's champion shows up to work. Where's our men's champion? Where's our LTW heavyweight champion?
They talk about it.
Where is our champion? I mean, she's showing up to work. Our tag champions are showing up to work. The GTS YouTube channel, whatever, who's even wants it, shows up to work. Where you at? Sorry, folks, that's kind of loud. Y'all in trouble. But now, I'm gonna ask Miss Franny because, like I said, she has the unique perspective being a woman. Do you feel, as a woman's champion, there's more pressure on you to show up to work? Or is it less? Like, how do you feel? Do you feel the same pressure as your male counterparts, or do you think it's more because you're hate to say it, like, you know, you're almost like a.
It depends, because like sometimes people will treat the women's matches as a sideshow, but then other times they're well respected and they're on the same caliber as the men. So it just depends.
Now, one thing I do enjoy about LTW, and I've seen more and more with a lot of different companies, they're putting the hottest champion, whether it's the tag, whether it's the women's, whether it's the secondary titles, they're putting them on last if they're the best match. Yeah. Now, how do I put this? Is the secondary title, because depending on the worker, it becomes so important. Now, do you feel like that's no longer that stepping stone?
That's what they're trying to do. It's one step closer to the world title. And then it became more prominent.
Depending
on the world title, because of the current champion now. Nobody really cared about that current champion. Cared about it.
I'm going to think I might have got the other
Bravo.
Oh boy.
Nope. I'm good.
Alex the Destroyer goes, I'll put every championship on the line every episode. Sure.
Who the hell is Alex the Destroyer? What the hell do you have?
Ryan is probably the Destroyer. Ryan the Destroyer.
Isn't he stealing Ryan's gimmick?
Ryan's still 24/7 champion.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But he shouldn't have told him to stay home. And keep away. He said to go what?
Ryan.
You're not here, buddy.
Oh, so now there's something. We have the 12th of November coming up, right?
Yes, Feast or Fight.
Feast or Fight coming up, folks. That promises to be a wow.
And now, that is on Ryan.
Do we have matches to match? Do we have matches?
He has a match. He has a match with him now against Izzy Platinum.
Ooh! Ooh! Ladies and gentlemen, she does Babe Ruth somebody.
Then we're announcing another match right now.
What match?
Because we're running out of time, so we're going to announce this now. We have the LTW Tag Team Championships are on the line.
Ooh!
You have Money Fighting.
Money Fighting.
Going against Iron.
Oh no! Can I do it now? Should I do it? Can I call it? Should I call it now? Should I call it now? Can I call it now? Can I call it now?
Go.
We get new champs. Sorry, folks. Money Fighting, I love you, but we get new champs. Sorry.
I don't know about
Don't play with me, boy.
Literally Colton had to destroy him.
But have they? But have they? I will say this now. I might not be huge fans of them, but they haven't had the super tests.
Yeah.
Remember,
We'll have to find out.
we have 3 other who I feel they're giggling and plotting. This is your fault.
What is happening?
I'm scared.
I'm very scared. Bobby.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we look like if something happens.
I'm in the couch.
But no, and this is what I'm saying. This is why. This is going to be Money Fighting's first big test. Sorry, boys, I love you, but Tyron has this one. I'm picking.
Oh man, wait a minute. Everest is watching.
Ah!
Everest is watching. What do you guys think? We legit have 10 minutes of this. Can't wait. What is that? What are you doing?
Because
You guys are standing around us like a damn cult, like we're about to get stabbed.
It's like a picture of vultures hovering over the curtain.
you know what? No, we're safe as long as Brandy's still here.
Oh, I don't.
If she gets up, I'm crying. But all right, this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. You stay right in those here.
I've been getting hurt multiple times.
See, no one's safe. See, no, you're safe as long as you're there. If you move, wow, I'm scared. Do we have any other matches to announce?
Oh yes,
I'll put
it's
a
myself. Myself versus Grim. Title for title.
I'm gonna call this one too.
Baker.
Yeah. He got lucky again. I'm saying that he got lucky against violence. That's all I'm saying. Cheetah. What I said? Who said it? Why can't I say this? Cheetah.
I think he paid the rep off.
I'm scared right now for my life. We've been set up.
Don't put it back.
But for the next matches, you guys gotta stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
And LTW Live on YouTube. And
Yeah, I think
shall we say again? At 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Every
Live
Sunday.
match. And I believe one match we already have announced for the next TikTok Live is Big Steve Coop versus Joey Angel.
That should be fun.
That's already booked.
That's like one of my. It's like you have 2 heavy hitters.
Do you have any comments for that one, Jim?
Hey man, Joey Angelo knows how to get it done. He's gonna show everybody live on TikTok 4 p.m. next Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And we have a couple. We'll see who shows up. That's the one thing fun about the TikTok Live. You don't know who's going to show up.
Yep.
And I'm terrified right now. Randy, where are you going?
I'm back. I'm gonna end this TikTok Live because I feel like we're about to get destroyed.
We're about to get canceled.
Randy's leaving. She's slowly inching her way.
Yeah.
Traitor.
Wait,
What? Dude, I'm house the whole day. Folks, I want to let you know we don't write scripts for this show. We just have the
What the hell?
You know what?
Trolley.
I get to officially say this.
I don't even know. It's Randy Candy.
No. Here.
I do the mouth with
Here.
I just got kicked in the nuts on my head.
What's in there?
There's strawberry.
Oh, there's strawberry ones. Is it cherry? It's cherry. That's not strawberry. Ow!
Candles.
Ow!
We like to have fun. Well,
Oh, damn it.
I'm feeling a little left out.
It's true. Halloween season.
Yeah, it's very Halloween. I think next week we're going to announce our top 5 in each division of LTW. I think I have a chance.
Right.
There's a 30 body.
I got hit in the
hella crunch bar, man.
Dude, this crumb bar made me see Jesus.
That's what oh shit. All right. Okay.
So then,
Stop it, you animal. All right, guys. So we're gonna end this. Thank you guys for tuning in.
thank you.
We've had an experience, and we hope to see you guys next week. We're getting out of here.
Much love. And if you guys have any questions and stuff, feel free to message and comment where you can, and we'll try to get to them. Yeah.
So long.
So long to you guys. If we're here.